Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this Thursday.
One more day. Let's all chant it, shall we?
I think the worst may be past.
I think so. Very soon, relief is on the way.
Yeah, we'll tell you when. But first, here's what's making news on this Thursday. The bitter cold has been a challenge for all of us, but Keely Arthur explains how seniors have extra dangers facing them.
Kids, hate to break it to you, but you'll be back in school tomorrow after enjoying a few days off. Kids have had 5 days off in a row.
And the parents are going, whew.
I know a lot of parents, kids are getting squirrely and a little bit of cabin fever, but will they pay the penalty by delaying the beginning of their summer break? Rose Schmidt will tell us that.
And the president draws a line in the sand. If there is no border funding in 2 weeks, he'll shut the government down again.
Let's take a look outside today. It was sunny to start, a little cloudy this afternoon. Boy, that's a frozen picture. That's a beautiful
This is
shot,
the
isn't
Baraboo
it?
River, I believe, and the water is warmer than the air, and that ends up with that steam. I guess Chicago, you can hardly see along the lake shore.
Looks like all those videos of people throwing the boiling water into the air.
Pretty much what's happening. Fasten your seatbelts, however. Dave Caulfield is here with our first alert forecast, and that looks a little ominous.
Yeah, and we are looking at temperatures getting a little bit warmer. Sorry, you explained what that was so well. Yeah, it's all right. Hey, we love when people are educated here. We are educating folks on some snow that is across southern Wisconsin, specifically southwestern Wisconsin, and temperatures are pretty chilly outside, and we could see a few flurries or snow showers. We've been seeing them for the last couple of hours in Platteville on our Queen Bee Radio Skycam. Shouldn't be a major deal, especially with the heaviest snow staying out of Wisconsin, but maybe up to an inch by the time we get to the end of the evening commute. Temperatures right now at -6 in Madison and -4 in Boscobel, -8 in Janesville. Wind speed's not too bad today, so the wind chill is pretty close to what the thermometer is suggesting, but you get any semblance of a breeze and it feels like -17 in Lone Rock and -22 in Platteville. Live look in Madison, the WISC-TV Skycam. Clouds have been on the increase this afternoon. Don't be surprised if we see a few flurries or some light snow showers as we head into this evening. Temperatures staying pretty steady, the 555 deal or the -5 deal there, and the single digits below zero. So let's take a look at your first alert traffic update. We have had an incident pop up right near Highway 14 there, and where it meets the belt line near Middleton, so we'll investigate that a little bit further, but otherwise no major accidents or incidents to report. Traffic generally heading out at the posted speeds, especially on the Beltline. John Nolan Drive to the interstate, that's 4 minutes with an average speed of around 60 miles per hour, and Middleton to Sauk City westbound, 17 minutes, average speed right around 60 miles per hour. That's your first alert traffic. We'll talk about some relief on the way and a temperature roller coaster to rival a lot of the roller coasters maybe at Six Flags over the next week.
That's why we need to fasten our seatbelts.
Exactly.
All right, Dave, we'll see you in a few minutes.
Thank you, Dave. First at 4, we were just saying it's been a long week as we've all been struggling with the cold.
But we need to take extra care when it comes to one of our more vulnerable populations, the elderly. Our Keely Arthur joins us with details on how to protect your loved ones. Keely?
That's right. The biggest piece of advice for the elderly: stay inside. Their Heritage Senior Center facility in Monona is keeping citizens indoors, checking on residents frequently to make sure room temperatures are normal. Staff is also making sure doors are secured so everyone remains safe. For senior citizens living on their own, set your heat to at least 68 degrees. Dress warm, sleep in extra layers, limit alcohol use as it can make your body lose temperature.
Seniors lose body heat faster than the younger population, so they sometimes might not even recognize that they're cold. We want to make sure that they're bundled up even indoors with multiple layers.
It's important to especially look out for Alzheimer's patients as they do have a tendency to wander. Electric heaters may also be dangerous. The Alzheimer's Foundation of America recommends using a space heater that automatically turns off when it reaches a set temperature or tips over.
Good advice, things to think about. Thank you, Keely.
School districts across our area will have to figure out how to make up the days they had to cancel after the snow and bitterly cold weather this week.
The Madison Metropolitan School District says it has not yet made a decision on how it will do that. Rose Schmidt shares how some parents are feeling after several days of school canceled. Rose.
Well, let me tell you that they think that their kids are going stir crazy. Multiple parents told me that they had to work from home this week, and their children were just so excited to be home, and they couldn't actually get any work done. As you can see here, we're going to show you the kids were just so happy to have a place to jump and bounce today after several days inside. That's why the parents are so glad Play in Wisconsin was open today. A second-grade mom from Middleton texted other parents, and they all brought their kids there today after days of too much screen time.
We had to just turn off the video games and make our way into active, and so with the text I was like, perfect, we need to get out of the house. And so good change of scenery, good time to see friends, and you know, when school's canceled for a second snow day in a row, you have to do what you have to do.
Now, her kids go to the Middleton Cross Plains School District. Currently, K through 12 students there won't have to make up the days at the end of the year, but 4K kids will likely have a few minutes added into their school day every day until the end of this year. And officials with Madison schools say they won't make a decision about how students will make up those days until the end of winter, because there's always a chance they could have to cancel school again because of weather. But they do have staff professional development days that they could adjust, or students may just have to come back for a few days more in June. So lots of options that they could have in front of them.
Maybe a price to pay.
Maybe, possibly that penalty.
All right, Rose, thank you.
Thank you, Rose. The polar vortex that's blanketed us the past 4 days has now arrived in the Northeast, bringing with it bone-chilling cold and snow and historic low temperatures. Residents across New York are now being advised to stay indoors. The weather is bad news for Melanie Ryan. She works outside in Times Square.
Oh God, it's freezing. It's rough. I mean, I know how to layer up and I'm ready for it, but you can't hide this because you have to talk to customers.
The Arctic blast is freezing over the Detroit River in Michigan. The big three automakers are shuttering plants due to a natural gas shortage caused by the frigid weather. The Postal Service also suspended service for a second day in 6 states.
Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers' administration and Foxconn Technology Group both say they are moving forward with plans for a project that could employ up to 13,000 people. This comes after reports that Foxconn is changing direction for the site away from manufacturing in favor of making it a research and development hub. A Foxconn spokesman said that all interactions with Governor Evers' administration and his team have been constructive.
President Trump says there will be no funding deal to keep the government open in 2 weeks if it doesn't contain money for the border wall. Natalie Brand is on Capitol Hill, where top Democrats say the president won't get it.
I don't expect much coming out of the committee.
President Donald Trump is casting doubt that Congress can come up with a deal to avoid another partial government shutdown in 2 weeks. The president still insists on getting a down payment for the southern border wall, but House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says he won't.
There's not going to be any wall money in the legislation.
Though Speaker Pelosi has left the door open for fencing.
Is there a place where enhanced fencing, Normandy fencing would work? Let them have that discussion.
If there's no wall, it doesn't work. She's just playing games.
The Democrats propose spending more than $21 billion for border security and immigration enforcement to pay for things like more customs officers, drug detection, infrastructure at ports of entry, and humanitarian aid.
The president has not ruled out declaring a national emergency to get the wall funding.
I would do that. Yeah. I would do that. We're going to see what happens on February 15th.
The latest back and forth over border security comes as U.S. Customs and Border Patrol agents seized a record-breaking 254 pounds of fentanyl at a port of entry in Arizona. 395 pounds of meth were also seized. A Mexican national has been arrested. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And CBS News has learned an additional 2,000 to 3,000 U.S. troops are expected to be sent to the southern border soon.
President Trump is offering support to Venezuela's opposition leader, Juan Guaido. Guaido declared himself president following a much disputed election. Venezuelans have taken to the streets in large numbers to protest Nicolas Maduro, who says he won a second term and is refusing to step down. The U.S. officially recognized Guaido as the legitimate leader of Venezuela. Tomorrow, Vice President Mike Pence will travel to Miami to meet with Venezuelan exiles.
Drug maker Tris Pharma is expanding its recall of infant ibuprofen. The product is sold under Walmart, CVS, and Family Dollar brands. Affected lots of the oral suspension drops may contain ibuprofen concentrations that are as high as 10% above the specified limit. The drug maker says toxicity is typically a concern when levels are 700% higher than the recommended dose. Side effects could include vomiting, stomach pain, diarrhea, and permanent kidney damage.
Well, still to come at 4, fans of the Rams and the Patriots are flocking to Atlanta for Super Bowl 53.
And so are the scammers, unfortunately. We'll look into these Super Bowl fan scams when Live at 4 continues.
Welcome back. NFL and Homeland Security officials are warning fans to beware of criminals trying to sell fake merchandise and tickets at Super Bowl 53.
Today, authorities showed off hundreds of thousands of counterfeit items they confiscated this week ahead of the big game. Kenneth Craig has the story from New York.
What you see on the table, everything here is counterfeit.
Homeland Security officials unveiled a trove of fake NFL gear seized in the Atlanta area ahead of Super Bowl 53, including this New England Patriots jersey.
You've got the threads already coming off of it. This thing is falling apart before you even wear it.
Over the last year, authorities say they've confiscated nearly 285,000 counterfeit items worth more than $24 million.
We've identified discount malls, pop-up sales, online stores, and street vendors selling counterfeit goods.
The operation also resulted in multiple arrests and indictments for fake ticket trafficking. One suspect, nabbed this week, was allegedly on his way to Atlanta to sell fake tickets to this year's Super Bowl.
The Duluth Police Department just arrested this individual with the means and the printer to move forward with a continued fraud.
NFL senior counsel Michael Buchwald showed off these real Super Bowl tickets, which contain heat-sensitive ink on the back.
The quality of counterfeit tickets can be very sophisticated, but no matter how real the tickets may look, a fake ticket will not get you into the game.
He's urging football fans to only buy tickets from a reputable source to secure a seat at Mercedes-Benz Stadium Sunday. Kenneth Craig for WISC News 3.
Law enforcement officials say they will be out in force this weekend at the Super Bowl in Atlanta. They're looking for fake merchandise and for those fake tickets.
And of course, you can watch the Super Bowl right here on Channel 3 and CBS beginning Sunday at 5 p.m. Stocks were mixed on Wall Street. The Dow Industrials fell 15 points, but the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 both closed with gains for the day. It is almost the weekend in the 608, and boy, do we need one.
Yeah, it's the first weekend in February. We're ripping a page off the calendar this weekend, and Emmy Fink is here with some fun events going on around town. Hello.
Hello, you guys. You guys look great, beautiful. I hate to rub it in. I've had like a 3-day, 4-day week off, and my husband. So
you finally took a shower and got out of the house.
I know. I washed my hair finally.
Boy, it's big
you should have saw me 45 minutes ago. Not so good.
Okay, now the cold is done. Now,
yeah.
It may rain this weekend.
Let's hope we don't have to worry about the rain, but you might have to. And actually, the fun kicks off tonight because you can snowshoe if you want to bundle up and really face that cold weather from Hoofer's Club to Picnic Point tonight, because it is the Wisconsin Union Winter Carnival, and the activities take place on Lake Mendota, and the Memorial Union throughout the weekend. So as it warms up over the next 3 days, hopefully more folks will take part, because there's ice hockey, broomball, snowga.
Snowga?
Oh, fun.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yoga in the snow, maybe a little rainga, maybe, I don't know.
Wetka.
And don't miss the snowball in the Great Hall, and that starts Friday night at 7 o'clock. Some swing dance lessons, too, you can try out.
There's enough winter out there. I think it's going to hold up.
I like it. There's a lot of snow out there, so, I mean, just go out and face it.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of winter, it's the perfect theme for a big event at the Edgewater this weekend.
It is. It'd be a lot more fun if we could just say just one little swear word, but we're not going to do that because I want to be back here next week. But it's the 5th annual Frozen Assets Festival, a fundraiser for the Clean Lakes Alliance, and this event gets underway on Friday night with the Fat Bike Races. I've always wanted to do that. Have you guys ever done the Fat Bike Races?
No, but it looks like fun.
Oh man, it's so fun. There's 4 1/4 mile distances and 12, almost 13 mile distances. And then Saturday at 10 a.m., it's the 5K run walk. That's going to also take place entirely on the lake, so dress appropriately. Ton of other great activities: ice skating, pond hockey, sleigh rides. Little kids can enjoy a magician that's going to be roaming around, so a lot of fun.
Got festivals on both ends of Langdon Street there.
Oh, yeah.
Just go back and forth.
That's true. I mean, people are going to be really ready to get out after these last several days.
Being cooped up.
Why not?
So Tesla is taking the stage. They're putting a car up on the thing?
Yeah, well, you know, that's the first thing I think of when I hear Tesla, but no, it's the rock band from the 80s. They're still touring more than 30 years later and playing their hits, which include some of the bigger ones, Getting Better and Modern Day Cowboy. Their performance at the Sylvie takes place Saturday night at 8 o'clock, and it's one not to miss. I didn't know any last night. I had my husband Google it.
Tesla songs?
Oh, yeah, Tesla's really popular still. Very, very popular.
Yeah, so,
now,
you know.
what about a theater option this weekend?
All right, so mythical creatures. It sounds like pretty much what our house is like, with mermaids and unicorns every day. But this is a festival of 10 short plays at the Bartel Theater this weekend, Thursday through Sunday. And expect unicorns, dragons, mermaids, all of the things that make life fun, right? Make sense with mythical creatures. And that's presented by the Kathy Rasmussen Women's Theater.
And Michael Bruno will go backstage at that production for us tomorrow here on Live at 4.
Michael, you got it.
He's all over.
You do it.
And it is Super Bowl weekend.
So this is so cool. You can actually celebrate the Super Bowl before the Super Bowl here on CBS on Sunday. The annual Habitat for Humanity Super Bowl will take place Saturday from noon until 6 at Madison West High School. Enjoy a cup of soup in a ceramic bowl that you can actually take with you. That's so neat. and at the same time meet celebrity soup servers, maybe, I don't know, the two of these wonderful people sitting next to me, favorite mascots, media personalities, mayors, and even Miss Wisconsin. Wow, some big names. And Danica Lewis and our old friend Rob Starbuck will be there as well.
This is such a great event.
It really is.
Every single year. It is so
cool.
much fun. Yeah.
And I certainly didn't mean old as in age. I meant
Rob.
Rob.
It'd be good to see Rob again.
Our, you know,
dear
lifelong
friend.
Our dear,
Thank you.
dear old friend. Have a great
You've
weekend.
never looked better, Rob.
Nice you got out of the house. Thanks for taking a shower.
Thanks, Emmy.
Bye, guys.
Check out Madison Magazine for all the best in the Madison area.
And if you're looking for something else to do this weekend, you could take an overnight trip to Michigan.
But pack the winter gear. It turns out that Hell, Michigan has officially frozen over. We'll pay the little town a visit coming up after Dave's First Alert forecast. Well, take a look at this. A farmer in Hawaii recently harvested a 6-pound avocado that could be the heaviest in the world. Say it with me now, holy guacamole. Locals say the Contenders farmer has been producing behemoths like this for years. If confirmed, it weighs more than enough to beat the current record holder, a 5.8-pound avocado, also from Hawaii. Guinness World Record is currently weighing in on the freak fruit's potential claim to fame. Despite all the hype, we can't help but focus on how warm it looks there.
Yes.
That's a lot of avocado.
Yum. I love avocados. That looks great. I wonder how big the pit is in the middle.
Yeah, that could be like 5 pounds. So,
yes,
we've made it through it practically.
Yes, and
We
speaking
practically
of,
made it through is what I wanted to say.
it's just a lot. We've been through it all this week.
Said it enough.
Yeah,
emphasis on the wrong syllable.
We're getting warmer as we head into this
We're
weekend.
thawing out and it's not pretty.
Yeah, that's the important thing. Temperatures will be in the 40s before you know it, but we could be talking about cold temperatures returning next week. We'll discuss it all in your First Alert forecast in just a few minutes. Good afternoon. I hope you had a really nice Thursday. I hope you stayed warm on this Thursday as well, especially after we started once again in southern Wisconsin with temperatures in the minus 25 to minus 35 range. Right now in downtown Madison, we are quite a bit warmer than that, but still below zero with a little bit of snow possible, especially for our friends across southwestern Wisconsin. In Madison, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies. Today's high so far, high temperature, let me emphasize that one more time, is minus 6. The low of minus 26 in Madison did break the daily record that was previously set in 1985 for the coldest start to the day. And we were close to 40 below zero in Lone Rock, folks. Just unbelievable cold to start off this Thursday. 36 below in Boscobel, 29 below in Janesville, and minus 33 in Juneau. So here are the bitter cold hard facts. 2 days in a row of temperatures colder than minus 25 in Madison. That's only the the seventh time in Madison recorded history where we've had back-to-back mornings with temperatures colder than minus 25. We actually, in 1994, had 3 straight days of starting off the day at minus 27. So there has been some colder streaks out there, but this is definitely record-breaking in its own sense. The longest streak of days below zero, though, you have to go back to 1912, where we had 9 straight days where temperatures did not get above 0 in Madison. However, just because we've had a couple of cold days does not mean that climate change is not happening. We can see that on this lowest annual temperature graph from 1970 to about 2018, the lowest annual temperature has gone up about 10 degrees. So part of the problem with what we've experienced over the past week is we're getting less and less used to the extreme temperatures, especially the extreme cold temperatures, because they're just not happening all that often. Now, speaking of temperatures, we started off the month very, very warm compared to our monthly average. And because of the last week, look at that departure, folks, 37 degrees below where we should be for this time of year. Yesterday, we'll have a similar number once the numbers come in for today. We're actually going to finish off the month of January below normal compared to where we should be. Just staggering stuff over the past week. We've had some snow showers show up across, especially southwestern Wisconsin. Some of these flurries and snow showers could make their way into Dane County. They're actually starting to over the last couple of minutes on Doppler track. Shouldn't be a major deal, but anywhere from about a ½ inch to an inch of snow, especially closer to the state line as possible throughout the evening hours. So don't be surprised if we do see a few snowflakes. Temperatures right now, -6 in Madison, -8 in Janesville, at -9 in Juneau. Wind speeds have not been that bad throughout the day, which is good news, but that is what allowed these temperatures, especially this morning, to get as low as they did. So wind chills, any semblance of a breeze is going to make it feel very chilly outside. Feels like -21 in Juneau, -24 in Platteville. Our wind chill advisory does go until 6 p.m. So for the next couple of hours, and then we'll start to feel a little bit more bearable as we get into tomorrow, when temperatures will be above 0 for the first time in quite some time. But look at this temperature roller coaster, folks. 18 on Friday for the high, up to 44 on Monday, and back down to 11 by next Thursday. Fasten those seatbelts, hang on tight. We are going to need it because of this 70-degree temperature swing between what we experienced this morning and what will come our way on Sunday afternoon, from -26, -26 to +43. Just really, really crazy stuff. And we can see when it comes to the pattern that it will be topsy-turvy, to say the least. We're getting the return of some blues and greens to our upper air temperatures, so much warmer air in town for the weekend. But by the time we get to the middle of next week and kind of February 7th, February 8th range, look at that. We see those purples and whites return to the map. That's cold air once again coming in and looking to stick around for a little while. Tonight, temperatures still staying pretty cold, -5, staying pretty steady, up to about an inch of snow possible, especially south and west of Madison. Tomorrow, variably cloudy, not quite as cold, with temperatures near 18. So we can see that snow mainly hanging on to the far southern portions of Wisconsin. Then as we get into tomorrow, the clouds stay with us. Temperatures above 0 will reach highs in the teens, and the clouds come back for Saturday. But look at those temperatures in the upper 30s and low 40s. And we are just on this roller coaster and really with no way to get off at this point, with temperatures in the low 40s by the weekend. And then we're in the teens barely on Thursday, with wind chills of -15 to -25 returning for the middle of next week. It's just a lot. And yes, we will be getting warmer, but that warm air could cause maybe some more problems than maybe it alleviates as we get into the next couple of days.
Melting and then refreezing.
Right,
and
some ice jams and things like that. So yeah, it could be bad.
What a month it has been.
Oh my gosh.
But no 25, 30 below there.
Right, that's the good news. It will be less severe, that cold, as it gets to
That
next
is
week.
good news.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dave.
All right, thank you, Dave. Well, we've certainly been suffering through this polar plunge, but we are not alone.
Reporter Jason Calthorpe traveled to a small town in Michigan that's colder than heck.
I am so going to hell to find out how cold it is there today. So cold, in fact, that it's actually shut down some businesses for the next couple of days.
I'm standing on one of the lakes in hell. So yeah, not only is it a cold day in hell, hell has frozen over. Well, almost.
I call myself the groundskeeper in hell.
Jerry is one of the few people venturing outside today. Are you surprised that nobody's out ice fishing today?
I'm not surprised with the temperature and the wind. It's a brutal day in hell. It's colder than hell.
Indeed. So with the temperatures dropping and those winds picking up, we rushed to find hell's only emergency warming center.
You guys have any coffee or hot chocolate?
I got something for you.
Okay.
Hell's Warming Center is proving to be a valuable community service in this weather crisis.
We, in the last week, have seen an influx of people due to bad weather. People showing up on snowmobiles.
And the regular visitors have heard all those sayings about Hell, and they love them all.
Must be the Lions are in the Super Bowl because Hell's froze over.
Our Wi-Fi password is go to hell. So when people ask what's your Wi-Fi, go to hell.
You hear new ones every day.
Yeah, until a kid asks you, and then you're like, G-O-T-O.
Never say when hell freezes over.
Why not?
Because hell has froze over.
We love it down here. You know, we feel like we got our own little slice of hell.
Stay warm, guys.
That we did. In fact, we went to Hell and back.
That's great.
That is funny. If you want to visit Hell as well, you can find it. It's about 50 miles northwest of Ann Arbor, Michigan.
I'd like to go there now.
Yeah,
I'd like to check it out.
A lot of fun.
Still to come tonight at 4, Super Bowl Sunday is right around the corner.
But this year, a controversy is brewing.
The NFL benches the traditional halftime press conference. I'm Meg Oliver in Atlanta with more behind that controversial announcement.
Here's a live look from our Edgewater Sky Cam Memorial Union. Looks like some people are out on the ice, maybe taking selfies with Bucky, perhaps.
Kind of a cool picture looking back from the lake.
Winterfest is starting down there.
Yeah.
We are not getting many details on this year's Super Bowl halftime extravaganza with Maroon 5.
The NFL made a controversial move by benching the traditional pre-Super Bowl press conference, leaving fans in the dark. Meg Oliver has more from Atlanta.
Everything feels like it flows.
Maroon 5 is practicing, getting ready to take the spotlight during Sunday's Super Bowl halftime show. They took fans behind the scenes on social media.
I think people who don't know the band are going to get a good experience.
Are you excited about the halftime performance?
Very excited.
What are you looking forward to?
Definitely Maroon 5. I hope to hear Girls Like You.
With epic performances in the past from stars including Bruno Mars, Beyonce, and Prince, the halftime show is considered a coveted gig. But this year, many artists reportedly declined the invitation in a show of solidarity with Colin Kaepernick and other NFL players who took a knee during the national anthem to protest racial injustice. The NFL canceled the pregame press conference where entertainers usually take questions and offer a sneak peek at their performance. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell offered this explanation.
One of the things they really wanted to do is be able to use the new opportunities that we all have through social media and other platforms to be able to reach their fans directly.
Some feel Maroon 5 is trying to dodge the issue.
I think that they should have been willing to talk about it because that's the whole purpose of his stand, is to talk about the issues that exist.
But fans seem to be moving past the controversy and looking forward to the show.
It's huge. Everybody who's anybody has tore down the halftime show.
Despite the sour note, Maroon 5 is counting on its performance to restore harmony, at least for several minutes during the halftime show. Meg Oliver, CBS News, Atlanta.
And as we said earlier, you can catch Super Bowl 53 right here on CBS Sunday evening. I think the official coverage starts at 5.
Right. I think it starts at 2 or 1 or noon. Or
all day.
Saturday.
Yeah, right.
When Live at 4 continues, we're going behind the wheel with Harvey Briggs.
Harvey and Mark are going to check out the 2019 Ford Edge, a mid-sized SUV. Harvey says this is the new family sedan. That's when we come back.
Good afternoon. Here is your First Alert traffic update. Taking a live look at the road conditions and traffic across Dane County. The incident closer to Middleton has been cleared, not showing up anymore, so that's good news. So no major accidents or incidents to report across Dane County. Looking at the Beltline, not looking too bad. A few brake lights downtown, but really nothing significant to talk about right now. So everything's showing up green. On your drive times for Runner Road to John Nolan Drive eastbound, that's 4 minutes, average speed of around 60 miles per hour. And the other direction, westbound, also looking pretty good, average speed of around 65 miles per hour from the interstate to John Nolan westbound. And that is your First Alert traffic update.
All right, thank you, Dave. Well, first computers started beating us at chess, and now they're coming for Jenga. Researchers at MIT have developed a robot that is so adept at the stacking game, it could probably beat you. This rather utilitarian-looking arm uses a soft-pronged gripper, an external camera and force, and it senses wrist cuffs to see and feel the blocks. I think it'd probably definitely beat us. Not probably.
It beat me, that's for sure.
The 2019 Ford Edge hits the sweet spot between the company's Escape and Explorer SUV lineup.
Ford has given the Edge a few minor updates for this model year. And as Harvey Brigg tells us as we go behind the wheel, the Edge is a top contender in its class.
This is the Ford Edge. It was updated late last year, so this is a mid-cycle refresh, they call it.
And why mess with success? This, after all, is part of Ford's vision for the future. This is the company's new family sedan. And this is really the future for Ford.
Right. Ford announced they're getting rid of all of their sedans, and the only passenger car they're going to make now is the Mustang. So really, these crossovers are the new family car. It's not really an SUV that sits up high and is made to go off-road. It still has fairly low ground clearance.
And under the hood of every Edge except for the sporty ST trim is a 2-liter turbocharged engine making 250 horsepower.
You think about it, for a 2-liter engine.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it used to be, if you could make 100 horsepower per liter, that was the gold standard. And now we're seeing these smaller engines make more and more horsepower.
You're not going to win any drag races, but you can sure put old man Winter in his place. So you drove this thing to Chicago and back in the snow.
Yes, I did. We had, what, 8 inches of snow? And the thing was remarkably confident. The all-wheel drive system here is fully automatic. You don't have to touch any buttons to make it go.
The base front-wheel drive Edge starts at about $31,000, and that includes Ford's Co-Pilot 360 system. That's every safety feature available. Prices, well, they go up from there. So as any car, you can load these things up.
Yeah, and this is the titanium trim, just below plutonium, I think. As it sits, it's $46,000, $47,000, give or take a few.
But if you want to be reasonable.
Yeah, you can get into this in the SEL trim for probably around $35,000.
And that's going to have enough stuff on it for you.
Yeah, you're going to have the same engine. You know, you won't get the heated and cooled leather seats. You might just get heated seats.
Oh,
that kind of stuff. I know.
Also inside, some changes for 2019.
There's no more gear shift knob, any of that. Like almost everything in the car, it's electronic. So there's no need for any mechanical attachment. Basically, you just turn that. Now we're in reverse. Camera pops up, all of that. And what it does is it frees up all this space in here.
But Harvey is not as thrilled with the center console.
It's a material choice, and now we're getting up into, you know, near premium or premium level where you have some nice soft touch surfaces here, good leather seats, and then there's this flat plastic that just doesn't seem to have that same level of finish. And then there are other things, like you can see the gap here. It's different from this side to this side. So those are build quality things that you look at and you say, boy, you know, this is when you're starting to pay close to $50,000 for a vehicle, you want these things to be perfect. You know, Ford's come a long way in a lot of ways, but to see this gap here, it's really disappointing.
And you're going to see that every time you look at it.
Every time you look at it.
But beyond that gap, and hopefully our press car was an anomaly, this Edge has one on the competition.
If you're looking for a family vehicle, you know, they'll comfortably seat 5 people and carry all this stuff and get you, you know, through the snow. This is a really good option.
So So other than the Gap, Harvey.
Other than the Gap, yeah, no, it was a really confident car, and this was a good week to put it through its paces with all that snow, the cold temperatures. It really did well. I was really impressed.
And a lot of room in the back.
A lot of room in the back. You've got, you know, it's only a 2-row, so you've got 5 people. But unlike a lot of those cars, the Mazda, some others where you open it up, you go, I don't know how much luggage I'm going to put back here. You can put enough stuff for a whole weekend, week-long trip for a family in that.
And how about the mileage on it?
Yeah, mileage on it is okay. It was 21 city, 28 on the highway, which is pretty good. I got about 25 miles per gallon through that lousy weather when I went to Chicago and back, so it's not bad, but it's not best in class.
This cold snap we've just been through, any tips on helping your car get started?
Well, first of all, it is okay to start your car and let it warm up. There's an old wives' tale that you shouldn't, you know, let your cars warm up in the driveway because it used to be with carburetors you could get too much gas in the cylinders. Now electronic management is taking care of that. So if you want to warm up the car for a few minutes before you take off, feel free to do that.
A good battery?
Yep, definitely a good battery. Keep it out of the wind. If you have to park it outside, you know, get it close to a building, some of that kind of stuff will help you out. And as always, check your tires. Make sure they're inflated because cold temperature will reduce the pressure in your tires.
All right, hopefully we're done with it for a while. All right, Harvey, thank you.
Great. Evil cackle.
Yes.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you so much.
Great to see you, Harvey.
All
Good
right,
job.
good to see you.
We'll be right back after this. Dave is back, sub-zero still, so I mean, be careful going out.
Yeah, it's still bitterly cold outside with a couple of flurries and snow showers showing up, especially across southwestern Wisconsin. Still at -6 for a temperature in Madison and -4 in Boscobel as we head into tonight. Temperature staying pretty steady, but still below 0, up to an inch of snow, especially south and west of Madison, and warmer temperatures do visit us as we get into tomorrow. And maybe a little bit of sunshine as well. Highs will be in the upper teens. Above 0.
A plus.
Yes, plus. On the plus side.
Well, that'll help.
Yes, exactly.
All right, Dave, thanks.
Thanks, Dave.
And coming up tomorrow here on Live at 4, comedian Dina Blizzard joins us. She's bringing her show One Funny Mother to the Overture stage this weekend.
And Michael Bruno goes backstage at the production of Mythical Creatures at the Bartell Theater. That's coming up tomorrow on Live at 4. In today's Final Touch, all aboard for a new adventurous cocktail experience.
Yes, bar guests are setting sail for a cocktail experience with a difference beneath a West London shopping center in a